Charlie is a 7-year-old male cat that took on the role of a stepfather for more than 25 kittens. This cute guy has shown love and affection to all the little kittens that crossed paths with him, and his owner is constantly amazed by how he treats his fellow cats. These upcoming pictures are so adorable that they will make your day better. Chandler Altieri is the one who found Charlie in 2010. Charlie was abandoned in a box, and while his other siblings quickly found new homes, Charlie was left behind. Even though all of his siblings found adoptive families and Charlie was left behind, he got lucky because Chandler noticed how loving and caring he is and decided to take him in. Little did Chandler know, Charlie would bring comfort to more than 25 kittens. As you can clearly see from this picture, Charlie loved taking care of every small kitten that Chandler brought home. It all started in 2012 when Chandler adopted 2 small kittens that were rescued by the ASPCA. The new kittens were super shy when they arrived at Chandler's home. They were terrified of Chandler and they started hiding in the corner of the room. However, everything changed when they saw Charlie. Seeing Charlie was all that those kittens needed to feel comfortable around Chandler's house. To make things even better, Charlie started grooming and caring for them. This made the kittens feel safe in their new home. How do you think Charlie's owner reacted to this? Chandler was more than happy to see that Charlie is bringing comfort to his new little kittens. He couldn't believe how much Charlie cared for the kittens, but this is what he had to say about his behavior. Charlie's love for his fosters is inspiring. He has fostered over 25 cats and kittens with a variety of disabilities. He loves and cares for each one of them the exact same, said Chandler. And that's not all. What's interesting is that Charlie seems to know when a cat with special needs is around because he gets very protective. Not only that, but Charlie does this amazing thing whenever his one-eyed friend is around. Charlie knows that his one-eyed friend is special, and he makes sure to give him more attention than usual. Charlie grooms him and stays with him whenever he is not feeling well. Chandler also makes sure to give Charlie some extra love whenever she has time because she knows how dedicated he is to his foster kids. Isn't this the most adorable thing ever? The upcoming picture will melt your heart. Whenever one of Charlie's foster kittens is scared, he goes and sits right next to them. This brings comfort to the kitten, and it makes it easier for Chandler to take care of them. Do you want to know what's the most amazing thing about this? The most amazing thing about this is that Charlie didn't have any parental figures while growing up, and this means that he developed these skills all on his own. Now this shows us how special Charlie really is. He also does this amazing thing. All of the kittens that Charlie gets in touch with are orphaned, and the fact that he is giving them a parental figure is helping their growth. To make things even more amazing, Charlie teaches these kittens how to clean themselves. It seems like Charlie has a special way of connecting with these little kittens, and Chandler would have a hard time taking care of them if Charlie wasn't around. Another amazing thing about what Charlie does is that he shows those little kittens that humans don't mean them any harm, and he teaches them that humans only want to help them. Chandler says that one of the coolest things about having Charlie around is that he loves playing and having fun with his foster kittens. He even lets them get on top of him. This shows us that Charlie does have the patience of a parent. Another interesting thing that Chandler said is that she often wonders if Charlie knows how much everyone loves him. He keeps on showing him affection in hopes that he does realize that he is important and loved. Despite being just a cat, Charlie has influenced many lives for the better. Those little kittens would have a hard time getting used to their new home, and Charlie makes sure to teach them everything they need to know. I am sure he can imagine that taking care of so many little kittens takes a toll on Charlie's energy. This is why Chandler never wakes him up whenever he falls asleep, because he needs his rest. All that matters is that Charlie loves taking care of orphan kittens and that he loves them just like his own. This is an amazing story, and cats like Charlie are hard to find, especially males who care so much for other kittens.
This story was really incredible, but you will like the next one more.
Zoologists baffled by this unlikely friendship between a cat and an owl. Having those talons and fantastic eyesight, owls are very skilled when it comes to hunting critters in the wild. Add the precise hearing and amazingly swiveling heads, and you have a killing machine. Of course, Jordi Amenos Basora, who is a Spanish falconer, knew all about owls and other birds. But one day, he and his pet owl went on a hunt in the woods, and a different kind of pet followed them outside. At first, he was very nervous, not knowing what will happen, but he surely wasn't expecting this. Jordy loved to train barn owls. He taught them to fly, hunt, and return to him, and the amazing flights usually drew attention to a big crowd. But this owl was particularly impressive. This beautiful barn owl has been grown since she was a little owlet by Jordy. She wasn't used to meeting many people, even though she was raised by one. Deborah loved to stretch her wings and fly into the woods. But one day something amazing happened. One day, her routine would be interrupted by a special furry guest. When Jordy and Deborah were on one of their journeys, Jordy's cat followed them into the woods. His name was Fum, pronounced Fum, which meant smoke in Catalan. The owner was a bit uneasy because his pets were very much alike. Both had claws and both were predators. What would happen when one attacked? Jordy saw Fum and he definitely thought this would be the end of him. Fum was in the middle of the small dirt alley when Deborah saw him and flew right at the cat, speeding like a hungry predator. But instead of grabbing the cat, Jordy was surprised to see that Deborah had something else in mind. When Deborah approached the cat, Fum playfully jumped to greet and catch the owl. It was all a game for both pets. Jordy was pleased to see that in wilderness Deborah was the same caring owl as she was at home. You see, these pets knew each other. Here's how everything started. Both pets were babies in 2010 when they first met and they grew up together. Nonetheless, out in the open, both animals could have used their instinct. In the beginning, I was not amused at all by the game, said Jordy in a Nat Geo Wild interview. After a few days, I realized that the game was quite harmless and innocent, said Jordy about the two pets. And he even filmed them while playing in midair or in the trees. It looked like Fume was more of an owl than a cat. You won't believe how dangerous their game is. Since Fum's first journey, he regularly followed Jordy and Deborah in their daily outdoors activity. Both the cat and the owl were having tons of fun, with Fum climbing trees and staying close to his friend Owl. But what makes their friendship so special? Jordy has never seen a friendship between an owl and a cat. When he's told people about it, they were also surprised. So he had an idea. Jordy took his camera on their hikes and captured photos and videos of Fum and Deborah. He then posted them online. What happened after is amazing. Obviously, these unlikely friends became famous on Facebook, YouTube, and National Geographic made a documentary on them. Fum and Deborah were also featured in 2 books. You'll be able to see them in the following photos. Everyone was in awe with them. The odd pair gathered thousands of visits on their Facebook clips, and Jordy remembers being stunned when he saw how fast his clip went viral. First it had 1,000 visits or something like that, and then I went to sleep. And the next day there were 300,000 visits. And that's not all. Fum and Deborah were very famous on the internet, but Jordy's happiness will soon be overshadowed by a terrible news. Fum was only 3 years old in 2013 when he was diagnosed with feline urologic syndrome, FUS. What happened? Fum and Deborah appeared in Unlikely Loves, a book on weird friendships between different species. There's also a children's illustrated book with their story. However, Jordy's heart would soon break. Fum was struggling to stay alive. The disease meant his kidneys were not properly functioning and vets couldn't save the poor cat. Jordy was very upset when he heard the news, and he informed the public that kept an eye on the famous pair. Jordy wrote on Facebook that Fume and Deborah's message is our most rich legacy. They have been able to show us, humans, that love and friendship are the most valuable treasures we can have. Later, in 2015, J.V. Martinez wrote an illustrated story about Fum and Deborah, A Quest for Friendship. Years after Fum passed, people were still impressed and inspired by his story with Deborah. Children even drew the odd pair in one of their classes. It was a very special friendship and Jordy was lucky to witness it. Looking at these goofballs playing is definitely an image that will make you smile. Their message of friendship still stands, even if Fum is no longer around. Deborah now has other cat friends that she accepts in memory of her friend Fum. However, no other cat can replace Fum as they grew together. This friendship between an owl and a cat is adorable and sends a powerful message. It doesn't matter what you are, friendship knows no bounds. Thumb and Jebra have taught everyone this lesson, and people all over the world have been left in awe seeing their story that was, unfortunately, cut short.